All right, flip us to camera one. Here we go. We're starting. All right. Guys, we are not live. We are actually pre-recording this, drinking some Moscato in the studio.
I like to think we're live.
Okay. All right, so
live.
we are live.
There we go. Hey.
We are live. It is me, Sam Catanzaro, and to my right
is your boy, your friend, and your lover, Tyrese.
There you go. There you go. And as always, we have our executive producer, Booster. There we go.
Hello. What's up, everybody?
Happy
Thursday.
We like Booster now, guys. It's going to be all compliments from now
Booster
on.
now.
Okay.
Yeah, now we do.
We have a special guest. Sam, I'm going to let you introduce our special guest of the night right here. Sam, get the honors here. Tell me about our special guest. You guys are in the
So her name is Amanda Danielle, or a.k.a. Amanda Love, or a.k.a. Amanda that brought us this great wine that we're drinking out of non-wine glasses. Amanda Love is joining us in the studio. There we
go. Cue the claps right now. Do we not? There we go. Yeah.
Thank you, Booster. Yeah, there you go.
So you're a good guy.
But no, yeah. So Amanda, what's up? How you been? What's been going on?
Fantastic. Just work.
Just work. Isn't that a song? Work.
Rihanna,
work. There you
go.
So
tell me off the bat, how did you get in touch with Sam, or Sam got in touch with you? What happened here?
It showed up on you showed up on a People I May Know.
Okay.
And I was like, damn, boom. And then I looked at it and I was like, no, actually she's got a lot of talent. Like you had like all of
why
these.
Did you click on her the first time?
Because it was like she was good looking,
yeah,
you know. And so I friended I as soon as I like went on there, it was like model, actress, photographer, this and that. I'm like, as much as I would flirt, we need guests for the show. so that was
ruin this or put somebody on that show. You picked the right choice.
I picked the right choice. I think.
I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. There you go. So you do a lot of modeling.
Yes.
And you're an actress.
Yes.
You've done commercials.
Yes.
So tell us a little about that. How did you get into that?
Actually, I just had an aspiration when I was young, like most young girls do.
Mm-hmm.
I went on Facebook and I saw the scene, which was like 2006, 2007. What that used to be back in STL was like a collective group of people that they would throw like a lot of parties and do a lot of photo shoots. And I was like, oh my God, I want to be one of those girls.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before I knew it, like 4 years later, I started to do that type of stuff. And I got into underground fashion shows.
Okay.
And, like,
Underground.
I would say underground just because they were really, really small with like local designers and they were super talented just trying to get their name out, just like the models were. So this is just like a whole bunch of talent circulating around, free work, everybody's enjoying themselves, and marketing, basically.
Right.
And before I knew it, I just kept doing it more and more. And as you know, as I said, I do modeling and acting and dancing, so I was hired as like a club dancer, like a hype dancer.
So you would get on the stage and people would be like, "Oh, damn, look at her!" And like, "Let's go."
Exactly.
Okay,
or
all right.
I would be like placed in the crowd, and they'd be like, "We're gonna play this song," and you dance.
You dance to it, just like you were just like you weren't
like
supposed to be somebody else. You just dance to it.
The
Okay.
time of my life, or I would be hired as a cage dancer. I would do backup dancing, things like that. And then I would say, kind of like discovered in a club by a few locals that are like pretty renowned now in their craft.
Mm-hmm.
And they took me under their wing, and we're still friends to this day, and that was 10 years ago.
Okay.
So,
yeah, you're doing a lot of stuff. Do you have like a favorite out of it? You got acting, you got modeling, you got dancing. Do you have one that tops them all, or are they all pretty much the same?
I would have to say I enjoy modeling and dancing.
Modeling and dancing?
Yes. Modeling just because I can become anything at any time, any character. Dancing because I've been doing it since I was 2.
Mm-hmm.
I always have loved it. I actually taught myself hip hop with Sierra videos back in the day.
Okay.
Yes. Like in middle school. I don't know. Nobody really danced where I came from. I grew up in South County. I know that really sounds...
Yeah, South County.
Where'd you go to high school in South County? Because I went to Lindbergh.
Okay, so I grew up in the Oakville School District like my entire life. First day of high school, my mom's like, "Hey, you're not going to Oakville. You're going to Bayless. I'm going to drop you off
Is that
now."
bad? Is Bayless bad?
If I had to pick one between the other Oakville and Bayless to go to, I would probably pick Oakville.
I understand those reasonings.
Yeah. It was.
I don't know what
Bayless is not. It's not the worst, but it's not the best.
It's not the worst.
No.
No,
Hancock's
no.
the worst. Hancock's definitely the worst.
Just by the
Out of high
name.
school,
Do you know I actually
Just
just had that
fine.
conversation with somebody literally 30 minutes ago.
Did you?
Yes. That they like would die before they would go back to Hancock.
Yeah. So you went to Bayless, but you lived in Oakville School District?
No. Literally, like, we moved like 2 streets out of the.
Oh, out of the zone, or.
But me as a 13-year-old, I'm not aware that this, and I feel like my parents maybe didn't inform me because they didn't want to upset me right away. But
Right.
Instead, they're like, "Here, we're dropping you off at a new school, and you don't know anybody.
Damn.
Have a good day."
It's probably exciting though a little bit too, just to go to a new place and just like not it's just somewhere where nobody knows you and you can be anything you want. You know what I mean? So did you choose
As
to be a
opposed to
different?
what? Like, what was I before?
You can choose to be a different person, somebody that you're not.
It was scary. I can't lie. It was terrifying because I didn't know anybody. So everybody's clicked up. Everybody grew up in the school district. They all grew. I mean, if you know Bayless, here's the school. There's like a subdivision around it. So most of the people grew up and they lived like across the street, or they lived in.
They're very close
a
to that.
walking
It's not.
distance away from the school. So if I was like an outsider and I came in, I'm like so it was like a shock to me. And then it's known for the culture that it has there, which is pretty astonishing to me. That's why I think it's an amazing school, just because, I mean, they speak over, I think it was like 300 languages there.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you could walk down the hallway and not hear
Why
English
were you
at some
talking
points.
shit about this place?
No, it's just the funding. They don't have any funding.
It was horrible funding, and if you look at it, when I went to school versus now, I mean, they have a football team now. I mean, we didn't have a football team. We didn't have anything like that. Our track was like gravel, literally gravel. Like when we had to run track, we were running on gravel. So we have like rocks hitting us and shit. It was like horrible. Oh my god!
But it still looked good.
Like, I mean, we had a gym and there was asbestos in the gym, like while we're in it for like years, and then finally they're like, "Hey, we're gonna close this down and like take the asbestos out."
It's not necessarily the people.
not.
Like there are some white trash people. I mean, you get white trash people
There's
everywhere.
white trash people everywhere.
Right.
There's hoochies
But
everywhere. There's
it's definitely underfunded. They were actually talking about combining Afton and Bayless just so that they could have one high school that they're focusing on.
Oh my god! I graduated X amount of years ago, and they took their buses away like the year after I graduated. I mean, literally, like if you didn't live within a certain mile radius, you didn't have buses anymore. So kids were forced to either carpool or walk to school, which was like an outrage.
In a public school. In a public school.
Like they took their buses away because there's no funding. Like things like we're having to do car washes and fundraisers for damn near everything, uniforms, and like we were known as a poor school. We would show up to like dance competitions because I was on the dance team.
That's what I was about to
and we would get like
ask,
laughed out because we're I would say like ghetto fabulous, making outfits and like you know what I mean, like crafting things the night before and like doing team things together to make do with what we had because we couldn't afford uniforms. It wasn't seen as a priority for us to have uniforms.
That was going to be my other question because it's like coming from this like underfunded school. Like, did you have any way of like expressing your talents? Because you're an actor, you're a model, you're a dancer. It seems like they didn't have those programs where you can be like in a glee club or the
they
like
did,
play and stuff like that. But you were able to experience that.
I was a thespian. I did theater, and we actually had a really, really good theater program. That was actually some of the stuff that flourished with the school, but I just don't feel like it was taken as seriously as sports. They don't ever take the arts programs as seriously as sports.
I think so now, though, right?
Now,
so
my
now.
God, in comparison to 10 years ago.
10 years ago, and then compared to now, the arts are definitely, sports have kind of gone downhill a little bit. Now the arts,
Oh my God, the
exactly.
arts are flourishing. Now everybody wants to be a model or actor or an influencer. They want to be a voice or...
Right.
Why do you think that is, though? Like, what do you think made that shift? I think for me, it was probably like, you saw Glee.
I did, yeah.
I think Glee was that turning point for me where you was like, oh, it's cool to be
where it
in
was
this.
okay to do it.
Or like a little bit popular. What do you feel like was the shift,
That's
turning
a good
point of that?
I would say that Glee definitely had a play in it.
It could have been something sooner or later, but I was like, what is...
But they had High School Musical when
High
back
School
in the day.
Musical,
That was like a huge
Glee.
thing, you know, because you had Zac Efron and he's like the hot boy and
Yeah, he's all right.
And
He's all right.
and he was coming. He was all right back then. It seems like he's getting hotter and hotter the older
He's getting more muscular now, and you look at him and you're just like, how the fuck are you doing it? It's crazy. But no, High School Musical was big.
Probably lifting weights.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's probably part of it, Booster.
How are you
Hate to be the
getting
sarcastic
muscles,
bitch
man?
there,
You
but-
fucking god.
High School Musical, Glee, but also like one thing that Glee did was they actually had the jocks in the show.
Exactly.
I remember, and it was like making fun of them, so they kind of had their whole like we're sticking it to them, and I think a lot of people looked
And
at that.
the show showed a lot of vulnerability with each character, you know, which you actually experienced in high school. Everybody experienced a certain level of vulnerability in high school. Where they were-
I believe they had like the defensive linebacker and like the quarterback in the Glee Club
yeah.
on that show,
They did.
and that was kind of like part of the inclusiveness of it.
Yeah.
I like it because it was just like it brings like everybody's not this black and white. Everybody's not the bad guy or a good guy.
Yeah.
Or the
Everybody's
jock or
just
the
like
geek
the
or
jock or the geek. People have
social
layers to it, so it was a good
And
thing
that's
to show
that's
that.
a new thing in Hollywood and just in entertainment. It's not a villain and a hero now. It's they blur the line,
Exactly.
which is big. So thanks, bud. So you got your start pretty much in the club scene.
Yes.
Okay, so like the club scene.
Which club? Which club?
Oh God.
You can't say it?
I'm afraid to
You
say
can't say it? All right, all
okay.
right.
No, I'll say it. Red 7. Do you?
I've actually never been there.
Never
no,
been. Where
I've
is
heard
that?
of it.
Do you
I've heard of it. I
remember?
do remember it. Yes.
Is it closed now?
Oh my God. Do you know why it's
Oh.
closed?
Why? Too popular? Too
No,
fancy?
they actually did like an undercover bus there, and on off days they were holding like sex orgy parties there.
How come we didn't go? What the fuck? Why am I just hearing about this now?
This is on South
Jesus.
Broadway.
What?
This-
Yeah, South Broadway. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the actual club itself.
When it was closed,
it
this
was
happened?
really cool. Like when it was over.
Right?
But then
It seems like it was really cool
Especially when you
it was
find out about
closed.
the orgies.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. So, okay. So, Red Sun, but that wasn't probably the only
sorry.
club. No, you're good. So, that wasn't
No.
the only club, though, that you promoted at. I mean, did you
Oh,
promote
no,
at any
no,
other ones? Or
Club 15.
Club 15, yes.
Pepper Lounge.
Pepper Lounge?
Pepper
Still-
Lounge,
Still,
that is
going.
good. Yeah.
Is Club 15 still
That's
going?
good.
Club 15 still going?
No, they closed that because there was like so much underage drinking.
Yeah.
going on.
Really?
There was a lot of fights that broke out
Other
there, too.
weird
I remember I went there when I was 18, and there was a lot of fights that broke out.
But I
and-
loved it.
Yeah.
The multiple floors, the
Yes.
multiple DJs, the multiple bars. It was a nice atmosphere. I wish they brought something back like that, but people here just they can't contain themselves. They can't handle all of that
Yeah.
fun.
Really just did. Wow.
I think because sometimes like when we went up to Chicago, we went to Rosemont, which isn't really Chicago. It's like right outside of Chicago, but
Yeah.
Rosemont's open until 6 a.m. And literally, it's like Ballpark Village and Soulard had a baby, and that baby was on steroids and crack at the same time. Like it was huge, right? And they would have
Yeah.
multiple layers and people outside. It was really cool, really beautiful. Everybody was nice there, but they partied until 6 a.m. But it was an everyday thing for them. Here, you know, after 1:30, everybody's kind of just shit-faced and like, well, let's go to a 3 a.m. And then they go to a 3 a.m. here, and then after the 3 a.m.,
Gotta go
everybody's
to the
like,
east side.
we got to go to the east side.
No.
And just nothing good happens.
Do not
Like-
cross the river.
But I think because
Don't.
we're just not
Don't.
used to it, though. And I think in places like Chicago,
But
they're
it's
a
not.
little
It's
bit
not
more
even
used to
just
it.
being used to it. It's that people they can't conduct themselves in,
Yeah.
in a proper manner. You know, like
Which
they're
is sad.
shooting and just starting random fights just over stupid shit that doesn't need to really
Yeah.
happen in a public place. Like, you know, take your bullshit somewhere
Definitely.
else.
Right.
You know, so they end up ruining it for a lot of people. It's Washington used to be popping. It used to be crazy down there. You can drive down Washington on a Friday and you're like,
It's dead. It's kind of like where's the
what's
the
going
hype?
on?
Yeah.
There's nothing down there. I mean, they had to almost make it more family friendly now in order to bring revenue to the street, in my opinion.
Yeah.
With the movie theater and all the restaurants that are opening up, that's all you can really do down there. You have people shooting and shit out of their cars.
Same thing with the landing. Landing started like that.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
the landing used to be amazing. You used to have
Yeah.
heartbreakers, and which I used to bar top dance at.
Okay.
Heartbreakers
Oh, there you
every
go.
day. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it was a crazy time.
Give us more wine. We'll bar tap bar
feel
top
like-
dance here in the studio.
I've been
Yeah.
drinking all the wine. It's just like I've been like, all right, we need to get this away from Tyrese.
Apparently,
guys.
I'm not going to have any.
Here.
Oh yes,
Here.
damn.
Booster here. Sorry, we always forget about Booster.
Just
Story of Booster's life. There you go.
just to switch it up a little bit, guys. I'm gonna wait for Booster to take a sip. because
chug
I've been
that.
feeling
There
bad.
you go.
Go ahead, Booster.
You don't chug wine. You sip it. You savor it. You get it into your system
damn,
and you
I'm
enjoy
sorry.
it.
It's just
that
not
creeps up on you though.
classic.
Wine-
Moscato, yes,
Wine,
Moscato.
no, wine in general creeps up on you.
Wine. The drunkest that I've ever been was on wine, and I didn't
I
know
don't
it
doubt it.
until it
Wow.
hit me. It hit me like a shovel.
Wow, wine.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've been drunk on wine. Wine is like juice, guys.
No, don't even.
You know what? Let's go to a winery, motherfucker.
I can
some
guarantee
water.
you. I can literally bet you money that you could not fucking handle that.
Just 2 bottles of it.
Ooh,
is
I
great.
can-
How much we betting here? How much we betting?
50.
This is great.
50. Make it 100.
Handle what? Just drinking
Wine.
a bottle of wine?
No.
No.
Drinking
that's not
wine
what I
like
mean.
how you drink every other alcohol. You can't
Just
do
take
it.
shots, pour it in a little shot glass, and just.
You know what?
Check
He's
it.
on to something. You're gonna win $50. It's okay. Yeah. Just let him go. Just let him
what
go.
are you saying? You talking about wine here? It's fine. No. I think. Have you tried Dark Horse?
No.
Dark Horse makes wine in a
Yeah,
can now.
yeah, really?
So now it's in the can. So it's like what? 12%.
What will they think of next?
It's
That's
a half
crazy.
a bottle in a can,
I've definitely heard
and
of
then
that.
yeah, it's stronger than beer. So yeah, they have that in a can.
I mean, most wine
Have you
is
been
like
to-
generally 14%.
Have you been to like Recess or something like that? Have you been to Recess at all?
Recess STL.
Yeah.
No, I have not.
You got to go there. It's pretty cool. We actually have a video coming out. If we're going to plug this right here, we have a video coming out on Recess STL. Our boy Tyrese is editing it. We went down there, Underground STL. We are not just a podcast. We actually go on location and do shoots and do videos. So tune in soon to the channel. It will be on there if it isn't already, because I'm going to edit this. But anyway, so we're here with Amanda Love. Okay, the beautiful Amanda Love. You're a model. You're an actress. You do photography
Just
too.
do it all.
You do it all. Like
God
you
damn
dance.
it. Can
and
you leave
shit.
some for the rest of us? Please.
Maybe.
All right.
I was like looking you up and looking what you're doing. I'm like, man, I do not have enough hobbies.
Not accomplished.
I don't
You know,
have
it's-
enough hobbies.
I'm gonna pick up sewing.
Well, I've never really been a 9 to 5 person, although I've had many 9 to 5s, and there's nothing wrong with it at all.
Right.
You know, I actually work for Instacart part time still.
Okay.
Because it's why not? I love fucking money. Like, why would I not? You know, like, and I used to be a marketing director. I cannot 9 to 5 and hold auditions and also pursue my dreams at the same time. And I feel like I have to sacrifice one or the other.
It really stressed you out when it's not like something you love.
Oh, completely.
Especially like if you're going in, day out, and then it's
Yeah.
something that stresses you out, or you don't like the people there.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's like you can't live your life that whole.
You'd much rather.
Even aside that, if you're putting your dreams on hold for something
yes,
and you
exactly.
honestly feel in your heart and soul like this is what I'm supposed to be doing, do it. You know what I mean? Because you can always you can get a job anywhere. It doesn't matter. You always can rebuild your life, but you can't ever get your dream back. That's how I feel. Like there's a time and place for you to chase that. And
Yeah.
you need to do it when you feel it.
You'd much rather have a bad or like your worst day at the job that you absolutely love doing
Yeah.
than a bad day at a job you absolutely hate.
I think-
That's how you can judge it.
I think
Like,
we all
you'd
get
rather
kind
have
of
it.
stuck because it's just like, hey, this is stable. This
Exactly,
is money.
exactly.
You're
And-
afraid to chase whatever
Yeah.
you need to do. But like, hey, I'm going to chase my dreams. But if my dreams don't work out, I could be living on the street right now.
Yeah.
And that's a
Exactly.
scary thought.
Exactly.
So I'm really like, my heart goes out to anybody that's like actually doing what they love to do, because
And
I know
still
personally,
working.
and still
And
working,
still
or
working.
or not working at all. Like
Yeah,
just
yeah.
saying like that, even more than
Make
just
it or
like
break it.
make it or break
Yeah.
it. Like, hey, drop everything you're doing and pursue your passion.
Yeah.
Because we all get kind of that stuck into like, this is cool, I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna half-heartedly do what I want to do until I find out like it works or it doesn't work, but I'm still gonna have this safety net right here.
Exactly.
I think that's our generation. I think that's the millennials generation, definitely, because millennials were told, this whole time, like, oh, you're special, you do this, anybody can make it. Like, we grew up with 90s movies, like where
does
a
that mean?
golden retriever can play basketball and win, and we look at that
like
and
that,
go,
like,
yes, yeah, we look at that like, yes, let's do it. I can play basketball. The fucking dog did, Like,
Play
yeah.
Two dogs on the khaki
I like-
go across
exactly.
the
You
whole
know
country.
what? You want my favorite favorite line there is just like, it's nothing in the rule book that doesn't say it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Nothing in the rule book that says dog can't play basketball, and then it goes on.
Can't play football. Can't be. After a while, it was like baseball, football, and then
Soccer,
after a while,
it was soccer. Yeah,
it was like
everything.
people was like, "Is it that a dog trying to play soccer?" And it was like, "That's Air Bud." It was like, "Oh, okay."
No,
yeah,
I think it
fuck
was a goat, right? No, that was a.
They had a chimp playing hockey. It was MVP, most valuable primate, and it was a
remember
chimp.
that, yeah.
You remember that?
Oh my
it was a
God,
chimp
yes.
playing hockey.
I think there was a Disney movie.
Is this
too.
what you were trying to
They're
say?
all
the 90s?
Disney movies. They're all Disney. But definitely. So if anybody goes after their dreams and you just crash and burn, blame Air Bud. No, so
I'm proud. I'm just
let's
whatever.
get deep into this modeling thing.
Okay.
Though, because
Okay.
this is
All
let's
right.
get deep into the minutia of this. So like with modeling, what
Okay.
type of what type of modeling or modeling gigs are there? Like what types of modeling are there, and then which one do you do specifically? Like going for the audience that doesn't really understand it.
There are a numerous amount of modeling that you can get into. Lingerie, you can do nude modeling, you can do implied modeling, which is like nude except you're not really showing any private areas. You can do fashion modeling, runway modeling. There's like video modeling. I mean, the list literally continues. You can do arm modeling,
Hands,
hand
stuff
modeling,
like that.
feet, lips, hair.
There's food modeling. Like food modeling is a huge thing. Like when fast food places like they release a menu and you see like that juicy burger.
Yeah.
It's literally people coming in like, this is how we're gonna make it look.
Exactly.
Like they'll spray water on it to
It's
make it
the
like
weirdest thing.
it's crazy.
And half the shit is not edible that you see in that frame.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
ketchup and shit like
Yeah,
that.
it's
But
like
it's
not
like
real.
It's
But
like
it looks
wood
good.
glue and
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like a bunch of weird stuff. Like
You turn it around, and it's like
silicone
flat. Yeah.
So what's big in St. Louis? Like why
type-
stay in St. Louis for the modeling?
That's a good
What's
question.
going on in St. Louis about that? Like why here?
We have an underground scene here that I
Okay.
don't feel like a lot of people know
We
about.
do.
I know.
Somebody ring the bell.
Plug.
She said it, guys.
Ding ding ding. Yeah,
right.
there you go.
Go
We
ahead.
need
talk
one
to
of
it.
those.
No, but we really do have a
Yeah.
beautiful underground scene here. We have a lot of talented people, designers, models, and people need to know about that.
That's crazy because everybody thinks like outside of St. Louis it's just this like hick town, like it's like Midwestern
Yeah.
thing where
Really?
nothing's really going on, and you have these people that's like, I gotta get out of St. Louis or nothing's happening in St. Louis.
That's
But
why
you're
we started
saying-
the show.
That's why we started the show. But you're saying like it's a big modeling career here in St. Louis.
Now, I feel like you can make it big here with certain things.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Do I feel like you're going to become...
Like the next like
No,
Heidi
no.
Klum
No,
or
no. Okay, Carly
Tyra
Kloss.
Banks.
Carly Kloss is from here.
Uh-huh.
She is amazing. She is one of the biggest models in the entire world, and she came from West Model Talent Management. So I'm not going to say that you can't be big from the Midwest or you can't make it from the Midwest, but she did broaden her horizons from here. So she did start from here. So I believe that this is a amazing stepping ground.
Yeah.
But I feel like once you reach a certain stature and a certain level that you should move on.
Obviously, it's other cities that's doing it
course.
better, but it's not like we're behind the times. It's stuff that's going in here in St. Louis. Yeah.
St. Louis is completely innovative
So-
and fashion forward and trendy. I mean, people I feel like know St. Louis for the trends that we start here.
if a 16-year-old girl came to you
Okay.
and was like, Amanda, I want to be like, I want to say it like a 16-year-old girl.
All right,
Amanda,
Please no.
Amanda, I want to get into modeling, and she wanted to get into modeling, and she's asking you like, I want to move, like, should I move to New York? Should I move to LA? You would tell her not yet. There's a lot of things you can do here to gain experience
Exactly.
before you spend money or before you like just leave your life here.
Definitely.
There's a lot of things here that she can do to get established. So when she does go to those big cities or those big towns or those big shows, she's had experience. She's not learning how to stand. She's not learning how to smile. She's already done that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. There are a lot of talented people here that will take you under their wing for free. You just have to reach out.
Yeah.
I mean, and now social media is a beautiful thing because you can do it in a click of a button. I mean, we had it 10 years ago, but it
Not to the
wasn't-
level of
not to the level of this. Like, people weren't like DMing you all the time. It was like you really checked your messages, and like when you did, you're like, who's this creep asking me to take pictures? I'm not, like they don't
Yeah.
really, they don't have like portfolio stuff. I don't feel like people had a serious persona online as they do now. Like back in the day, it was like, yeah, I take pictures sometimes. Here's this like half naked girl and you're like, oh, I'm not gonna shoot with you, like.
But I feel like even that, like even with social media right now, it's to a point where you could be an Instagram model.
Yeah.
Just from showing your pictures on Instagram.
Yeah.
Completely.
Just not even having like professional photos. Just somebody's just like, all right, I'm in my bathroom. I'm a beautiful guy or woman, and then they can be famous just from that.
It's fascinating.
That's how we have like the influencers right now.
Do you think that cheap? Because that was going to be one of my questions that I asked. I was really, because remember we were out the other night and that girl showed us her Instagram, and I'm like, it looks just like every other girl's Instagram.
What do you mean? Was it not? Which girl? We
look
at a lot of girls.
I like to piss off. I don't like to, but I piss off people.
No, you meant what you said.
I did admit what I said, but
it was probably an awesome Instagram, and he was just like, look at that. No.
Yeah. But like,
average.
do you think that kind of cheapens it though? Because you're going or do you think that it helps it because you're going through this, you're doing automatic filters on the phone, you're not actually going to these scenes. It's literally like you could just be sitting right there and take a photo and you look gorgeous.
Yeah.
And it's just a filter, but it's like, what's the message? What symbolism is there?
I completely
what
understand
fashion
what you
is
mean,
there?
and
yes.
There's that argument where now it's lazy and people don't feel like we're working as hard
right.
to achieve our goals. Before you had to go to go-sees, which is you actually like going into places and going to auditions and
right.
you doing it the way where you had to actually physically see people and meet them. And now it's like, oh no, like this is maybe me because all the filters and stuff now, and you can morph your face and change.
Yeah.
And
but in person, are you going to look like that? And that's
exactly.
I think the issue that I had with this girl she showed us, it looked nothing like her in person.
You did you meet her in person?
Oh yeah, she was there. Like she handed us her phone. I was looking at her Instagram, and I'm thinking to myself like, this is not you. This is you, but it's not.
But
yeah,
does it matter
thing.
when you modeling though? It doesn't matter.
No.
It's like, hey, if you take good pictures, that's the only thing.
But are you relying too much on the filters and not even like the natural? I'm not even talking about natural beauty. I'm talking about like I watched a couple. I didn't have cable for a while, so I watched a couple seasons of America's Next Top Model when it was on 11. Right, nothing wrong with that.
Well,
but
it's a pleasure.
I'm just
trying
saying.
to see him.
Yeah.
I had nothing else to watch, so I watched.
So I turned on Bravo.
Anyway,
seasons.
It was the season. Listen, I'm gonna get deep on
Okay.
you. I'm gonna get deep on you.
Talk to me.
We go deep. There was a season that Carrie D won.
Yes.
Okay, and Carrie D had this photo, and Tyra kept on referring to it, and she was like playing this dumb blonde.
Yes.
She was in like a white dress, I think it was white, blonde hair, and she had this book out, and she was like, had her like here in her mouth.
I think it was white.
Yeah, but like it was white. It was a white dress. I was just trying to act,
Okay.
But it was so natural though.
Yeah.
But you couldn't get that by just doing an Instagram filter. That was her actually acting.
No.
You had to be beautiful, but there was a talent to go along with it. And I think in Instagram, by doing these filters and by doing this, there is no talent.
Okay,
that's
now,
and that's why I ask you, because you're in the industry. I'm not. Tell me what are your views?
I wholeheartedly believe with what you just said, because I have shot some girls before that they're gorgeous, and I've reached out to them because I'm like, oh my God, your pictures are stunning, like your selfies are beautiful. Mm-hmm. Well, they get in front of my camera where they can't see themselves. Ooh. And it's completely different, and they almost started to have a panic attack because they felt like they weren't doing their best job and they weren't doing good, and they don't know how to pose because they can't see their face, and that's stuff that you have to work on. I don't know how many hours I've spent in the mirror like practicing my angles, because you can look really awkward if you're shooting in a certain way, and you need to know that because your photographer will get pissed off. You do not want to piss off somebody when you're on a professional job and they're saying, hey, you need to pose like this specifically. You need to know how to do it. You don't have time to keep working at it because this is all on a time schedule. Everybody's getting paid per hour. They don't have time for your nonsense,
right?
And they will kick you off set for something like that in a professional
setting.
It
gets real,
exactly.
And I think that's with social media nowadays. Whether it be Facebook, whether it be Twitter, whether it be Instagram, whatever. I feel like people are hiding behind their phones, whereas what you're doing is absolutely real. They'll kick you off set if you don't give them what the fuck they want,
exactly,
because this is a job.
Time is money, and you're wasting some fucking time right now.
My thing is with that too. It's just like, hey, yes, these people are like taking pictures on Instagram, but now they become influencers. So now it's like people are reaching out, like advertisers are reaching out for like bang. It's like,
you
hey,
have, like,
take a picture.
Mercedes-Benz and
going on and taking pictures like that. So like, as a model, if I was a model and I could take a selfie with a Bang cup right here and get just as much money as if I were to go to a professional and have a photographer yell at me for not like
Yeah,
doing all the
yeah.
work, which is obviously yes, it's more work to do it and like to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, do you think because it's so easy now to like take a selfie, especially with influencers, and then like without all that work behind it, instead of just going to somewhere and just like
Like it
having to
cheapens
practice
it
and
almost.
cheapens
Like
it.
it makes it too
definitely
easy.
does.
It does cheapen it in a sense, and it's disheartening to the people that are like working from the ground up and that are going through the process, because it is a long, grueling process.
It
You know,
is.
it's not easy, because I've been to places where they're like, you're too fat, you're too this, you're too that, you're too that, and that's a whole other discussion in itself. The image and how
with body image and
with
everything,
body
yes.
images and how agencies perceive women. That's a whole other discussion, because I don't agree with that at all. But
That's actually one of the things I was going to ask, if you don't mind me jumping in here.
Jump in, Booster.
All right, no
jump.
problem.
The jump
All right.
booster. Which you
I'm gonna
fucking
keep the
asked
camera on you,
question,
though,
Booster.
okay?
Okay.
All right,
Booster.
so one of the things that really, like, when I knew we were going to interview a model, and I was
Okay.
like, all right, well, I kind of want to research this a little bit, and I started looking at a lot of, like, Tyra Banks' stuff and a
Okay.
lot of interviews that she did, and one, she announced that she rebranded her business as Banks, BANX, and it was way of, like, her way of, like, trying to change the way the model industry kind of selects its talent, to make it so that they're not based on, you know, height, weight, sexual orientation, race. Whereas like 22, or I guess at this point 24 years ago, she was the first black woman on the cover of Sports Illustrated, the swimsuit edition. Whereas like, and then now it's like when she did it 22 years later, like even then, that was the first photographer that was a black woman.
exactly.
And, like, it wasn't even the first African-American that did it. It was the first African-American woman, even in that. So I'm just, like, curious, like, do you feel that like, you've felt that change in the modeling industry yet? Or do you still kind of see kind of the old tropes of, like, as you were saying, kind of like, you know, body shaming or like a particular body image that they're looking for?
Or will it always be there? Will body shaming and
will we
body
ever be free
image
of that?
always be there?
I hate to say it, but I feel like the body shaming will always be
Yeah.
there, because there was this level of conditioning that people had growing up. Nowadays, not so much. So the people that are born around the time of now, so we have like really young kids now. We're talking like 20, 30 years before we're having this type of discussion
Yeah.
again. You know what I mean? So we've been conditioned that in the 90s skinny was in, and then you get to the 2000s and that's when the ass came back in.
Well, yeah,
and
Kim Kardashian, Nicki Minaj, like,
Exactly.
and now you got all these girls getting diaper butt
exactly,
implants
and
and
then now
shit.
you get to the 2010s and then the fake bodies, and it's really sad to see. And you know, I just now became 100% comfortable with like myself. You know, I had body image problems, and I feel like a lot of it stems just from the fakeness that we see and all of the editing that we're seeing and
The
all this-
Photoshop.
Yeah, I mean, if you see the before and after, half of these girls don't even look the same, you know, and it's not that they're not beautiful girls. This is solely the marketing team that is doing this, and the editors. And
There's this girl that I know, and she bartends,
Yeah.
and all obsessed. I'm not going to say her name, but like all obsessed with Instagram and this and that, blah blah. blah. And she was talking about getting lip injections, and I go, why? And she was like, because I want them, and I go, but why? You're fine. It was literally, it's kind of like a big brother little sister
Yeah.
relationship, and I'm like, you are fine. And she's constantly always asking me about it, and it's like Instagram model and this and that, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, you're never going to be, I feel like it's almost like a body dysphoria. Like if you follow bodybuilding at all, there's a lot of bodybuilders, like just guys that kill themselves.
they're never happy with
They're
their...
never happy.
Yeah.
Even though they look like an Olympian god, they're never happy, and they end up hurting themselves more than they actually. And you see it in celebrities like Courtney Cox, and you see it in celebrities
Oh my God,
like the Kardashians and like Nicki Minaj and all this, and that have paved way for these women to get these ass injections or lip injections that don't always
just
go
sad.
right.
Yeah.
That don't always go right. It doesn't look natural.
Well, you have
so,
you
yeah.
have a K. Michelle situation where she got silicone injection and it almost killed her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and she had to get it removed, and then the problem with that was is she had to find multiple doctors, and she's getting turned down because they don't want to be responsible for her death if something was to
Mm-hmm.
go wrong in the removal process.
Wasn't it also something like you can also get botulism
Oh
from
yeah,
silicone
totally,
injections?
totally.
Yeah.
And
What's botulism?
It's like oh god, salmonella. Like
Okay.
it's like a stomach bug.
Gotcha.
like, and I mean, how I feel about plastic surgery. I mean, if it honestly will make you feel good, go for it. If it's safe, if all your health risks are out, by all means do it if it makes you happy. But like, there's a point. I mean, I watched like an episode of Botch where this guy, I think he had like 125 surgeries in order to look like a Ken doll.
Ken doll, dude.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it was really sad to see because he wanted more and more and more and more each time. And
But
it's
he
like,
doesn't
what?
even look like a person anymore.
No,
right?
and
Yeah,
you
you're
didn't
just
even look like a Ken doll. Shit, you know what I mean?
it's like, dude,
what are you looking like?
There's
right
a
now?
woman
It's like,
that's trying to look like Barbie.
Yeah.
Have you seen her? She's
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
and like I said, to each his own. But there's just comes a point. I mean, I believe obviously these people have body dysmorphia of some sense.
Yes.
Everything in moderation. That's
Yes.
how I
Yeah.
feel. I mean, if you want
everything's good in moderation, even
Yeah.
moderation. Like sometimes you
Exactly.
can just go all out and do this or do that,
Exactly,
but like
exactly.
other times it's like, should I really be trying to do that? And I think social media plays a big part in that because Facebook is more so like trying to. Facebook is 10% of your life that you show to the world.
Yeah.
Instagram is the 10% of the 10%. I feel. That's with certain people. It is. So it's kind of it might fall, some people post on Facebook
How
and
I
say the
find
same
it
thing.
is some people are like completely different on both platforms.
Yeah.
On Facebook, you have more wholesome family.
Instagram's
Instagram
more
is,
of the
like,
sexy.
ratchet,
yes,
like-
yes,
That
yes,
makes sense,
yes.
though. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Instagram is more
One
so
thing-
picture-wise, while Facebook is more so in your life.
Yeah.
Personal.
So that makes
and
sense. Like,
here's my
especially with
words
that
and-
challenge, is like Instagram, this is how I am on Facebook, this is how you are on LinkedIn.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
but sometimes
Tinder
you're
thing,
so
that shows you.
but sometimes you're so far from it. You get what I'm like
Yeah.
what you're saying. Like sometimes like you're so far. Like
What?
here's your Facebook you and your Instagram you isn't just kind of over here. It's like all the way over
But
there.
is that-
it's like a whole different
It's a one-
person.
Is
Yeah,
that
it's
a
a
bad
180.
thing though? Like,
It's-
why
it's-
is it? Is
it's
that
not
okay?
a bad
Like,
thing.
it's not a
I don't
bad
know.
thing to cater different ways of your personality to different
But I feel
platforms.
like some
but when
people
it's
are
totally
getting
different,
lost in it to where they're almost having an alter ego entirely.
Hmm.
Do
Yeah.
you understand what I mean?
like based off like an alter ego personally when you meet them in person, or is it just like
No. I mean, on their Instagram, have you not met anybody that thinks they're like hot shit because of who they are on
I
Instagram?
haven't, but I don't stay
Yeah.
around models. I just stay around regular guys. But I was like, I feel like, dude, if I
Yeah,
want to
exactly,
be
without
like
too
a
much.
biker or whatever
Yeah.
on Instagram, but be like different ways, that's okay. I feel like you using your Instagram
that's completely
to like
fine.
do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But like in person, you saying these people are just like, I have 1 million followers.
Yeah, like,
you're
you should know
beneath
who
me
the fuck
now.
I am.
Like you,
Yeah,
I
you
haven't,
know-
but I can see how some
You
people
know how
will
that
probably
can boast them and get to their heads and
do all that stuff. And then
I
it's
just-
plus
I
like
can't
likes
be
are
like
just
that.
like addictive too. Like if you get those many like
Yeah,
No,
like
I just don't give a shit. I mean, like, it's
I'm with
not that
you.
I don't care. That I mean, like, I appreciate the support more than
Yeah.
anybody knows. But it's
Exactly.
just like I don't give a fuck if you like it or not.
You don't
Like,
run. You don't. Your life does not revolve around your social media life.
No,
your
no, no,
absolute
no.
life does not. That makes sense. That's
No.
good. That's healthy to hear. That really is because there's a lot of people, guys, girls, models, non-models, average Joes that are like, oh my god, and they're just glued to their phones. I kind of get like that, like with Underground St. Louis sometimes, like with this
No,
with this
it's
show.
so natural to
Yeah.
do that though, because it's like you're trying to build something,
Right.
I mean, I have to post at least like once a day. That's what I find myself because I'm really bad at it. Like I was a marketing director, I can market the shit out of any product. Me, not so much. I'm not too good at it.
It's hard to self promote because you
Yeah,
always
and
you
I'm
always
like-
have that Midwestern sensibility of
Yeah,
like,
and I'm like,
oh god, I'm so full
Nobody
of
cares.
myself.
yeah,
you know what I
nobody's
mean?
gonna like. Who's
Yeah.
gonna want to keep looking at like my same face like every day? Like,
Well, and some of the pictures that you post are like, because I've been following you since we've talked and shit like that. Like, okay, like kind of what kind of questions do I ask? Like this and that, like
Yeah.
checking on your statuses and stuff. And some of the things are like, it's the same photo shoot, just a different photo. And it's just like you're just putting it out there. It's just
Yeah.
it's a marketing strategy. Hey, this is me.
Exactly.
And it's beautiful. And so many people like it, but it's like, guys, you just got this 2 days ago. Like, but it is a strategy. You have to keep posting.
Like,
you have to stay
feel
relevant.
Like I need to keep putting content out
Yes.
because, like I said, I mean, I fell off for a period of time. I was still doing my stuff behind the scenes, but I did not have a Facebook. I was not active on Instagram. I really did not give a fuck like what was going on.
Yeah,
And I watched.
get that.
I looked on Instagram. It wasn't that I wasn't on it. I was
Yeah.
looking on there and like liking pictures, and I would save it as posts almost like as Pinterest, like inspiration. But like, I
I feel
didn't
you.
care about promoting me. It was like. Sorry. It was like, I'm getting,
You're all good.
you know,
Somebody's popular.
I'm getting paid for this in real life. I don't feel like I need to be an Instagram model, as what we were talking about.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't need to do that, but
You don't need that validation from social
Yeah,
media.
exactly.
It's a tool for you to
I think
use.
it's the same thing. But yeah,
it's hand in hand, and it's hand in hand, and I feel like I should do that, you know, especially if I'm trying to reach a certain level in my career, you know, and there's nothing wrong if you get famous off Instagram. That's fucking amazing. I think that is the most fascinating thing, that you posted a selfie so good, you're fucking viral now, and you're famous, and you're getting sponsors
And most of the famous
and-
people on Instagram, I mean, there's a lot of Instagram models, but
Yeah.
you know, there are some that aren't just, you know, models, Instagram
there's some
models.
really
There's
talented
some people that
people.
are out there and
Yeah.
they're doing like action, you know, like hey, I went skydiving and I posted a 30-second video,
Yeah.
or hey, I did this and that. This one girl that I follow on there, her name is Beth Franks. And her sister, and I forget her sister's name, but she's this big, she's overweight, but she's very, very comfortable, and she jokes about it. She was a Vine star or whatever. I gotta look her up later and show you. But it's her little sister, and literally she just posts, and she's like not like no model material, no nothing, but she's like beautiful in her own way.
Yeah, and
like
it's
she's
not for the faint
kicking
of
back at
heart.
the beach and just drinking a beer and you're like, like there's something like
Slugging back a Budweiser.
Yeah.
exactly, and there's like that's American.
And it's not easy to be
Yeah.
transparent and to show yourself entirely online. So some people, I definitely commend them for doing that because they are their true selves, and not a lot of people can do that.
No.
Even with people that they know
And you're opening
personally.
yourself up for abuse at that.
You really are,
Oh
yeah.
my God,
For
I'm
criticism,
not even crazy.
abuse, and you. This brings me to my next question. Like the actual like creepers.
Oh my
I
God.
mean, how many? Because you did a status not too.
yeah.
You did a status not too long ago, and I saw it, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna ask her about that." Yeah, that's
What
that's
happened?
fucking
What
great.
was the
Which
status?
one?
It was like the guys that you were like if you're like, "Hey, what's up, baby?" or "Hey," like you slide into my DM, and you're just like, "What you up to?" or
Yeah.
hit me up or something like that. You're like, "I'm not gonna respond." If you want to be professional, if you want to be if you want to be cordial,
collaborate or
yeah, and you were like,
you know.
if I want to talk to you in that way, you'll know if I want to talk to you.
Exactly.
Other than that, just basically shut the fuck up.
You
so
know, and you don't
yeah,
want to come off as being a bitch, and that's sad that you have to say something like that, because I'll have people like, you posted a status and you didn't respond back to my message. It's like, what sense of entitlement do you have to me, and you
Right.
don't even know me as a person, you know? So it's like this boundary line is crossed, and I feel like a lot of guys have this because, you know, at the click of a button, you can just see any girl's move at any time. You can see where she is, where she's going, what she's doing, what she looks like, what she's about, you know, and you almost feel like you know them as a person.
Yeah.
Well,
Right,
You
yeah.
don't know
but
them
you
as a
don't.
person.
You're in love
I
with
think-
you're in
yeah.
love with their social media self.
exactly.
But you really don't know. You have no clue how they act. You have no clue how they sound. There's no tone
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
messages that are being portrayed. There is nothing. There is nothing there.
I
It's
I
fake.
agree with that. I agree with that. But I don't think it's anything wrong for a guy to try a shot.
No,
say,
no,
hey,
no, no,
how's
no,
it
no.
going? I like you. But when you get rejected, it was like just like take it
Yeah,
as it is.
and
Like
I can't
if I say
fault-
like, hey, what's going on? I really like what you're doing right now. Do you want to meet up for coffee? She says no. She says yes. But I'm not going to get mad.
Exactly.
Like-
there is nothing wrong
right,
with that,
exactly.
because if you don't know somebody isn't married or they're not in a relationship, who am I gonna? I'm not gonna be like, fuck you. Don't fucking. Don't
I
inbox me.
have
That's
two
just-
friends that met just because of that. They like somebody just slid
Really?
into their DMs, and like one of them is getting married this year.
Who is this?
White Joe.
Okay.
Her fiance slid into his DMs, and it's scary.
Good for him.
It's scary, but like
Good
for a
for her,
guy, because
too.
you don't want to seem like a creep, but it's like, hey, this is my only way of
But
reaching
that
out
is
to
if
you.
you come about it in a respectful manner.
What
Most
is a-
people aren't. I'm getting dick pics. I'm
Right
getting,
off the bat, just
You gotta be
I've
kidding me.
never seen
Yeah, I'm
them.
getting,
What
like-
guy
Never seen
thinks
them.
that that's gonna freaking work?
I'm getting. I mean, I posted some pictures.
You didn't see that, people, but he raised his fucking hand.
Raise my hand. No, it's
Some
that's
guys like
disgusting.
how much would it be to lay in bed with you for a night? I posted that. Like some guys
So
said
it's like
that.
they're
I
looking
mean,
at you like a
and
whore,
He has his
basically.
business posted, linked to his account. Like, you know, you have your business posted, and you're sending a message like that. It's just
It says married to, so it says married to your wife on it.
and it's just disrespectful, you know. And there's people think that's okay now because it's so accessible to say anything you want to people
and semi-anonymous.
Do you think it's
there's no consequences
exactly.
to
Do you think it works?
getting blocked?
Because it's like something if it
works,
depending on what is said though, it all depends on the level of disrespect. Like you just can't. I mean, all people be like, "Hey, wanna fuck?" Like what are you talking about? When does that ever work for you? And that's
what I get mad at, because I was like, why do you keep doing, like, it has to, because like after 3 times of doing something, I'm just saying 3, but like after 3 times of like sending a dick pic to somebody.
But have you ever heard persistency is key? People don't give a shit.
Like, dude, like after three different times, 3 different girls, like why are you still doing this when you know it doesn't work, when it hasn't worked at all?
Yeah,
they literally don't care.
Well, they're shooting for that 1 in 1,000 type shot, you know, like
one person that says,
like, wow, look at that. So this is just kind of an interesting thing that I thought of. To you is like, because a lot of people who maybe aren't educated on like what modeling is or how it happens. Is it work? Is it art? Is it both? Like, how do you categorize it in your head? Like, do you go into a shoot thinking like, all right, I have this many photos, I have to do these poses, it'll take 5 hours, let's get it done? Or is it to you like, all right, now let's look at what it looks like? Or is that more of like kind of the responsibility of the photographer and you're just kind of the talent on camera? I'm just kind of curious how you feel about it.
That all depends on what's agreed upon beforehand.
The project that you're doing.
Yeah, because if you're doing something just for fun where it's like a no pressure shoot, you're just putting on outfits and taking pictures, then most likely you're not going to be planning out posing unless a photographer wants something specifically. It's just... Or
wants to capture something that's like an original version of you, I guess, the aesthetics.
Fun, no pressure type of situation. But if you have something like you're supposed to be a young mom, you need to carry yourself a certain way. You're supposed to be a sexy girl, you need to carry yourself a certain way. And it takes practice, and it's not easy because... I know you guys have seen bad modeling pictures. Everybody has. Where
it's usually just pictures of myself.
The girls aren't portraying their faces as well as they could, or the face doesn't look on, or they
doesn't look authentic.
Yeah, they look uncomfortable, or like they're in pain, or it doesn't look natural or soft. And it's not that they're not beautiful girls, it's just that they don't know how to hold their face. And it takes time because, like I said, I had to sit in the mirror for a period of time, and I would sit cameras up and take pictures of myself from a certain angle, and I'm still working on it.
Just kind of workshop each angle and like,
Yeah.
you know, how you feel like this, like if this eyebrow was raised a certain way or something
because
like
sometimes they'll be like, raise an eyebrow. Hey, can you smile from this angle? Can you turn around and tilt your head up a little bit? And they don't want to keep telling you, put your head down. Can you put your head down? Can you put your head down? Because like I said, they're going to be like, I'm going to find somebody else to do this because you're wasting my time. Time is money.
Yeah, you know, that's interesting because like you had that commercial where I guess, I don't know if you were like in a medical office or whatever, and you just literally, it's just you walking down the hall.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And it just looks so natural. How many takes did that take you?
2.
Okay, well,
there we go.
That's
fucking modest over here.
I'm
Jesus
sorry.
Christ.
She's just that good, guys.
I was expecting her to be like 15, actually. No, just 2. Just 2.
All right, that little hop skip that you do. Can you do that again?
First try.
Oh my God. But like you legit looked like, oh, hi. Okay, I'm just here to get a checkup, or I'm here to do this or do that.
I appreciate that.
And it's like, but then you get like certain pictures because when I was talking to you, because we mostly communicated through text or through like Facebook Messenger.
Yes.
Okay, at first, and then I was like, how is her voice gonna be? That was like the big thing that I was wondering because like you would write a status like you ain't shit, like, and like a status. So I'm like, is she gonna be street? Is she gonna be? And then but you would text me like, oh my God, I'm so excited, I cannot wait to get on the show. I'm like, what is this girl pulling here? But like,
I'm so St. Louis.
Yes, that really is St. Louis. Yes. That really is
different weather every day.
But you have to. It's like Marlon Brando. The actor, like what he said, like we act every day though as people. As people, we act every day. You literally have to be somebody when you go into the bank. You literally have to be somebody when you're with your friends. You literally have to be somebody if you get pulled over.
Yeah.
You literally have to be you play a different role of yourself.
It's cracking me up because it's so true.
It is so true. So I mean, but but that's what modeling is. It's not just finding the perfect filter and having your tits out.
It's not just going there and standing and hoping for the best, because it's might not happen unless you're just like a goddess and it just comes like supernatural to you. Then by all means, you take that talent and you just stand there and make it work, but for some of us, we have to try and pose and work at it, and it's really hard and it's grueling, and sometimes it can be super disheartening because there's so many beautiful people, my God, and unique beauties, and it's like a competition all the time, and with modeling also there's this age thing. They feel like once you reach a certain age, you're just old, and you can't.
Height too. Height's one thing that you can't really.
I've been turned down with height so many times, and I'm 5'7". I was
wondering how tall you were gonna be. Like I was like, is she gonna be a giant when she comes in? Like as she was walking up, I was already standing like on the top of the steps, and I'm like, don't know yet. Like just wait 3 more seconds. Let's see when we get up to even level. But no, yeah, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of things that go into play.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's crazy.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do I look like my pictures?
You know what? You know what
yes.
you look like? You know what you look like more? Like with the pictures and stuff, it's more so like with the face. The face is more. I'm gonna try. This is why I piss women off. Like,
no, you didn't say anything bad.
Take a real long drink here.
You didn't say anything bad.
One, you look more like. All right, so you look more like the 2 pictures that you sent me.
With your face.
The 2 pictures that you see, there was a face in both of those pictures. The 2 pictures that you sent me, you were like, here, pick either one of these, because that's what we're gonna feature on the podcast. Okay. And the one was you black lingerie, but you were serious. And you were kind of looking up at a distance or whatever. And the other one was like you had a white t-shirt on, okay, red lingerie, but you were smiling and you were laughing. And I was like, I'm going to use that one because that one looks like she's having a fun time. You remind me more of that picture right now than you do of the other one that you sent me.
Okay, fair enough.
If that's a good answer.
Sometimes you look like yourself.
Sometimes
I meant that in a sense of, have you ever met somebody in person where you're like, whoa, you look way better in your pictures than you do online? Like,
and I've met people that's the opposite too. It's just like, wow, you look great in person. I mean, not saying you're ugly in your pictures, but you're a little bit more shiny in person too as well. So I met both sides.
Radiant.
Well,
I like my word.
Our friend Amanda. Not you. We had another friend, Amanda. We called her Stewie, and Stewie was big St. Charles Motorsports calendar girl. She was calendar girl for so many years, and then she was cover girl of 2019 for big St. Charles Motorsports. All of her modeling pictures that she takes, and she's on motorcycles, and she's on this. She's in lingerie, bikinis, all that kind of stuff, and she looks beautiful.
Yeah.
If you met Stewie in person, she's cute. But she doesn't look like her modeling photos.
Oh, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't think like, wow, you're this big cover girl, because she's like, I'm just me right now. I'm just wearing jeans. I'm kicking back. I'm drinking a beer. You can tell like she's hot. She's girl next door.
Yeah.
You want to talk to her, but you would never think like, oh wow, you're this calendar girl. Like holy shit. And then her personality, it's like it's a real person. It's not like this Cindy Crawford, Heidi Klum type, personality.
Really think that you're like, I don't
just
know.
a real person.
You're selling something whenever you're modeling, right? Like you're not like a specific clothing line, but like an image.
You're selling a happy mom. You're selling someone sad. You're selling someone in pain.
An archetype or a persona.
Yeah,
I guess.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, guys. Look, this is what's going to happen. This is all great, but I gotta take a piss, so we're gonna wrap this up. We end the show with either final thoughts, or if anybody has one last question you want to ask us, we want to ask you. We're going to go around the table. We're going to start at Booster. Booster, do you have any final thoughts? Last questions.
I'll go ahead and say that. I mean, it was a pleasure to have you on, and I would say a lot of people would maybe think that people who do modeling and dance maybe have they have a preconception that maybe they're kind of like vain or maybe not very smart or something like that. And I'm very pleased to meet someone who completely contradicts that assumption.
Oh, thank you so
don't worry about
it. How many people do contradict it? How many models that you know contradict it on a percentage?
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I've never met a dumb model. I have never ran across that before.
That's awesome.
Most of the models are like registered nurses or they're going to law school. I mean, it's like actual professions, and we just enjoy doing this, also.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of what Booster was saying, you are awesome. Great person to talk to. You're just shining right now, and it was really easy to have a conversation with you right here with this groups right here. I think you coming in was at first going to be a little bit intimidating. Hey, we're talking to a model, but you made it really easy just to.
I also hyped you up dude, this is a model.
Guys,
this is
to be
a
fair,
model.
he did hype you up quite a bit, and I was in my head. I was like, "Oh God!"
There we go. So no, you were great. I had a fun time. I hope you had a great time too.
Are those your final thoughts?
Those are going to be my
those are your
thoughts.
final.
So I was going to piggyback off.
Those
of
are
Booster.
Amanda's. What are your final thoughts?
Well, I actually was super fucking nervous to come here. I mean, I'm not used to talking about myself. I'm like super modest and introverted and
Midwestern.
Yeah, I mean,
I also hyped you guys up too, Booster and Tyrese. I hyped you guys up too. I was like,
did you hype me up more than Booster?
I have a question.
Okay, good.
Do you guys ope?
Ope. Yeah, when you yep. Yes.
I thought this was a drug. I was just like,
yeah, for a second I did.
Not on camera.
We are getting oped up tonight. Yes. No, Midwest ope. The ope. Whether you drop something or you
excuse me.
There's a meme. There's a meme that it says if you turn down the trap music at the club, it is just in a Midwestern club. There is just a bunch of Midwesterners going hop.
I thought it was short for opioids. I was just like, shit.
You guys opioid. Yeah.
You guys opioids.
All right.
I thought that's what you meant.
All right. Well, Amanda.
Well, it was a pleasure meeting all of you.
Amanda Love, it was great having you on. You can catch Amanda on Instagram at @addtheg or on Twitter with @the_G on Twitter. She is also on Facebook. Amanda Danielle, Amanda Love, however you want to look her up. She is great. She just doesn't have the look. She's got the personality. She's got the sense of humor. It's great. Thank you for coming on Underground St. Louis. My name is Sam Catanzaro. To my right is
Tyrese.
And as always, we go deep.
Hey, if you enjoyed that video, go ahead and drop us a like.
And subscribe and follow us on Facebook and YouTube for more videos of Underground St. Louis, where we bring you a street-level view of the greater St. Louis area.
Whenever you get the chance.
No, now. They need to do it now.
Right now?
Now.